Alright, this is SSLDad with Simple Sustainable Living, and today we're going to be doing an automotive quick repair on how to change your serpentine belt on a 2009 Chevy Traverse. Now this is the same exact process for any of your like model vehicles or like model years. So the Acadias and Views and Terrains and all the other ones, Cadillacs and all the other GM brands, vehicles that are like the Traverse, this is the same exact process. I think all the way up to the 2012 model year. This process to get the serpentine belt changed is, I would say, beginner to intermediate. It doesn't require a whole lot of tools, and it doesn't require a whole lot of really automotive know-how. Hopefully the process I show you here will be able to take you through step by step on getting this changed. You're going to save yourself a whole lot of money, and you can do this yourself in your garage easily in just an hour or two. So the serpentine belt is something that takes power from the engine, and it distributes that power through a belt to your alternator, power steering, air conditioner, water pump, and I think that's everything in the engine. So if the serpentine belt breaks or starts to fray, you might notice some high-pitched squealing or flapping around in there if it's strands of it are coming off, or you might lose power steering, you might lose all your power, you're gonna have a bunch of lights blinking on your dash and stuff like that. So if you can get the vehicle home, I would recommend just ordering the parts on Amazon. That's where I get all of our parts from. I'll put a link in the description to everything that I'm using here. Stuff comes in the mail in a day or two, and you can get that repair done. So very easy to do, and very easy to order that stuff on Amazon. So again, I'm going to take you guys through the process here step by step. So let's go ahead and dig in and get started. Okay, so first thing we need to do is get the wheel well enclosure out. And there's a few things that you have to do to get that out. There's a few of those push-pull type little clips in here, and I'll talk to you a little bit about those here in a minute. There's also a 10mm nut over here on a stud sticking out of the side, and then there's a few Phillips screws along the edges here, and then back on the back side over here. So once you get all that taken out, you can kind of wiggle the whole plastic enclosure out of the way. Okay, so we've got the wheel well all taken out, and you can kind of see the bottom of the serpentine belt. That's right here. If you look up here, and there is if you have your owner's manual still in the glove box, there is a routing diagram for the serpentine belt, so it makes it easier to remember how this goes back on. But take a picture of it, or we'll watch this video, I guess. And take your serpentine belt off, and you're going to do that by sticking a ratchet in this tensioner pulley right here, and you can kind of bend this out of the way with a socket wrench, and that will take the tension off of your serpentine belt, and then you can pull the serpentine belt out of the way. Okay, the belt's off here, and man, it's one of those times when I just miss working on my truck. It's so much easier to get to everything. So I'm just going to try to pull this out of here, kind of trying to remember how this routes around, because it'll be easier to get the new one in, but I'll figure it out. I always like to match up the belt just before I start winding things around and make sure it's the same size and width and everything, and it looks like we're a match here, so we can go ahead and start routing this around the pulleys. So I did bust out the old owner's manual in the glove box. I'm not sure I've ever opened this before, but I did find in the back here that they do have the actual routing diagram for the pulleys, so you can use this as a reference to kind of get things put back into place here. So this is the largest pulley here. This is the crank, and this is our tensioner, and it routes underneath the air conditioning condenser or compressor, excuse me, and that goes up over, I think one of these here is the alternator, and there's an extra pulley there. This goes up to the top. This is our water pump, just goes over the top of it, and then around the power steering pump, and then back up over our tensioner. So you can kind of use that as a pretty good guide. Alright, so I've got it everything routed around the power steering and the water pump and alternator up there and everything, and I just left it off of the big one here, so this is where it needs to go. So I won't be able to do this on camera because there's no way to get a tripod in here, but I'm just going to do the same thing I did at the beginning. I'm going to put my my ratchet or socket wrench in here. Tightening pressure will bend that tensioner off to the side, which will give me enough space to get my belt around the main pulley here. And we just want to make sure that everything's lined up and in the grooves, and then we'll turn it over and see if it works. Alright, so I just turned the ignition here just really quick. Didn't start the vehicle, just turned it. And I just want to make sure my belt is seated properly on all the pulleys. And so I'm going to go ahead and start it up and let it run and see if it works. Alright, well that pretty much wraps it up for replacing a serpentine belt. It's really not that hard. All the video footage you saw here was taken from when I actually replaced the water pump in this vehicle, and so I did the serpentine belt at the same time. But I wanted to split this footage out so that if you're just looking to do that single repair, you could watch this video and not have to worry about the other stuff. So hopefully that helps somebody out who's looking to do this. If you guys have questions or comments, please throw them down below. I'd love to hear from you. Any recommendations you have, if you're a seasoned veteran at this kind of stuff, that would be great. My viewers as well as myself, I always appreciate that. If you have questions about the repair, I should be able to answer those as well. So I always try to get back to everybody who asks good questions. Please hit thumbs up on the video, guys. It makes a huge difference. And subscribe to our channel if you'd like to kind of follow along with any other auto repairs. And we've got all kinds of other crazy stuff going on around here on our little sustainable farm operation. And so if you'd like to follow along and see what's coming out, go ahead and hit subscribe there. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.